Sup guys, I'm the world's best Spanish coach. I book lessons exclusively on METAFY. So if you want a galaxy brain like me, click the link in the description and sign up to learn from a goddamn Chad. Sup guys, welcome to another episode of Dabuz teaches you how to fight all these characters better. Now that I told the people playing these characters how to play them better.
What'd he say?
So, starting off, we got Dr. Mario. With Dr. Mario, one thing to note is that his pills go at a much higher arc than Mario's. If you look at this, see how like the Doc's pills go over Mario Fireball consistently? And that's huge, because this is just a better arc overall. It catches jumps a lot better. So when you fight Mario, you can basically jump over his Fireball pressure a lot, and it's not that big of a deal. Lets you like space like jump aerials or whatever. With Doc though, because this pill goes at a higher angle, you can't really just space jump aerials nearly as well versus him. And honestly, a lot of times, you also have to keep in mind that like the height of the pill seems to be like relative to like the height where he jumps at. Like if you do like this, for example. Yeah, see, it's a lot higher than like this versus like this. Keep in mind kind of the height the pill is going to go at, and if you can jump it or if you can't. Because there's nothing worse than getting caught by like Doc pill into forward air. And as a result, also, when you understand the trajectories of the pill, you can stay grounded a lot more. Because if I do like this and you just like kind of like a medium-sized character, you can just be like, okay, I'm not going to jump here, it's going to whiff me. And because Doc has poor approach options, you can control that space in the ground and wall him out that way. Or if you're a big character, you can crouch underneath the pill still. So staying grounded, abusing the bounce of the pill, and exploiting his approach game that way is key. Otherwise, you will just get blown up by random pills and just get destroyed by Doc. Pichu, Pichu, Pichu. So when you fight Pichu, honestly, this is gonna sound like almost not like advice, but you just have to be ready to play very reactionary versus him. Like you just have to be like almost like gamer posing it up, like eyes focused on the screen, just ready to react to anything, because this character is fast everywhere. Movement, hitboxes, combos, like you name it, this character is just definition of speed, right? And you have to just be like ready to deal with all this stuff, otherwise you're getting blown up. As a result though, you want to slow the game down versus him as much as possible, because if he can't abuse his speed, he's not going to be able to overwhelm you and get things going easily. And of course he's going to hurt himself the longer the game goes on. So if you force him to constantly swing in space where things aren't connecting, that's hurting him a lot, right? You might be asking Dabuz, how do I slow the pace of the game down? What does that mean? So I'm going to probably make a video on this later, but the simple explanation is that if you want to slow the pace of the game down, you need to counter fast approaches, right? You have to be ready to recognize like a Pichu player is just going to run in a lot and just hit him, right? Like if you're constantly throwing hitboxes out and making the Pichu player second guess of running in because you're throwing that safe hitboxes, projectiles, and whatever, Pichu player is going to be like, okay, I can't run in. I got to play it slower, maybe T-jolt, maybe do like this. And suddenly when they're a little more passive and like less willing to just run at you, because you walled them out a couple times, because you preempted them trying to be like crazy fast, the character becomes a lot more manageable to fight. Alright, so for Falco, a big trick to fighting this character is just stay away from the platforms as much as you can. Because his combo game gets heavily extended by platforms. I mean heavily. If I was not bad at comboing, I could show you. So, like he gets like nasty kill setups and whatever off platforms. So you really want to avoid this as much as possible. This means when you DI from him, obviously you don't want to like DI into the blast zone, but you know, if you can DI away from a platform during a combo, please do it. Even if you have to SDI. If you're playing neutral and you find yourself underneath the platform a lot, you probably want to move away from that platform and fight him when the platform is above you generally. That's basically the approach to fighting this character is, as long as you stay away from platforms, his combo game is still very good. But especially at like the mid percents, he's going to struggle to get significant damage off of a lot of his tools if you're making him have to like work for positioning. And it'd be a lot more manageable to fight than if he starts doing things like pretend I was using platform combos. So for Marth, the big trick when fighting Marth is recognizing that Marth players want to land their tippers, right? I mean, that's kind of obvious. However, that also means he's very linear. Like, Marth players can choose to play without landing tippers. They can choose to land like these, you know, sour spot moves. But look at that, right? Compared to that. As a result, you know when fighting Marth, they're going to be looking to swing at around, like, this range. Like, if you're close, you can expect them to try and back off. And if they're far, you can expect them to maybe move a little bit closer, right? And because you can not only play around the fact that like they want to fight these ranges, but they're weak otherwise, it's really easy to see what they're gonna do. Also, one other little tip for fighting Marth players: if they put you into like a knockdown state, I messed up. But don't do like regular get up or taking place, because good Marth players will, I mean, will space to like catch you doing like regular get up off tech chase situations and forward smash you. If I can show it off, that'd be awesome. I'm not a good Marth player, by the way. Anyway, moving on. And now for Lucina. And of course, this advice I'm going to talk about applies to Marth as well. But for Lucina, you really just want to bait her into swinging. When this character whiffs an attack, she's not quite punishable, but she's vulnerable. She's not a great spot. Because if I do something like, say, Nair, right, and I whiff it, my ground moves are all pretty punishable. Like, except for, like, down tilt, all these are kind of laggy and whiff. Like, that's laggy, obviously. Like, I'm not just going to smash. So it's like, now that I've not have many ground moves to use, on whiff they're all not that great. Even on block they're all pretty punishable. Except down tilt, but down tilt like doesn't cover the air at all, and even then like the hitbox on the ground is pretty small, honestly. Okay, it's a little bigger than I thought. But it doesn't cover the air at all, so if you're jumping, you go over, right? So as a result, you know if a Lucina player whiffs, they want to jump again, because when they jump and do these moves, the aerials are like the big hitboxes that are safe and spammable. So you know that when she whiffs this, if you pressure her, she either can like you can hit her before she does a jump aerial, or you force her to do a ground move. So make her play the guessing game a lot. Abuse the fact that she is at her weakest there, and because her damage output is, you know, very weak overall in this game. If you describe her as an honest character, because she doesn't have much like low percent she's or big combos generally, you can constantly play this guessing game and just beat her by like sheer like numbers, honestly. And with that said, guys, that will be it for the video. Hope you learned something like always, and I'll catch y'all another time.